How do you think humans will become extinct? As a long-term optimist, my favorite is evolution. As we expand out into space through the eons, eventually we diverge and evolve into new species. And what we consider human is extinct. You can also view AI as a version of evolution and count that as well. But I personally think we can coexist with an AI we create. That sounds the most likely to me. Every other post here suggests something that would kill most people, but certainly not all. The only other thing I would imagine is a double whammy of sorts. Like a global pandemic of a very deadly virus during climate change runaway and then hit by an asteroid. Knowing us, it'll be the hard way. Sigh. Unzips. Pulls out spaghetti. XAA-12 will throw a tantrum at age 10 and use the secret Tesla military base on Mars to nuke the fuck out of all of us. Such a unique name. He must be the only person in the world with it. Terminal stupidity. A highly contagious virus designed to make its host interfile without presenting any other symptoms. Escapes from a lab and infects everyone by irreparably damaging our biosphere. Takes a biosphere to evolve and sustain a complex living organism like us. Destroy that and we probably won't last long. The Rapa Nui of Easter Island used to have a thriving civilization. They survived contact with the Europeans, and even had a golden age of sorts, where life was bountiful enough to devote resources to monument building. However, they engaged in rapid deforestation and careless exhaustion of resources with no plan or even awareness of the consequences. Until too late, they wiped the island clean of trees, which caused erosion and loss of arable soil, loss of food, and eventually societal conflict and civil war. The remnants of their shattered society were easy pickings for slavers from Peru who almost completely exterminated them. Monsieur, what happened in Easter Island is going to happen to us. As big as it is, the Earth isn't an unlimited wellspring of resources, and we are rapidly reaching the point of no return. Meteor or a virus. It's gotta be war. We literally have a weapon that can wipe out an entire country. Now multiply the amount of that weapon by thousands. One day countries and leaders will face a breaking point through clashing ideologies, and before we even knew it, we already fucked ourselves over. The breaking point will be climate related. One of too many refugees. People vote extremists, lunatics with loose trigger fingers. They start a war to support the economy. Some battle over a critical water source escalates. Climate protesters turn violent. Civil war ensues. Foreign power steps in. It escalates. I think we will make a mistake. Something like, we send the majority of the population to another planet, but they crash. Or, we couldn't get to another planet in time. Humans make mistakes. It's about time we make a big one. Collision of a Mentos truck and a Coca-Cola truck. We'll probably damage the environment to a point where we can no longer live in it. In the last 100 years we've been burning through Earth's resources like we have another planet to move to. We act like colonizing, terraforming Mars is an actual solution. FFS. We can't fix our own planet that is perfectly suited to our every need. So we're gonna travel to another planet, change it to suit our needs and keep that one in good shape without fucking it up. I don't want to clean my dirty house, so I'm gonna move to Antarctica. Build a new house there and keep that one clean instead. Whoa, slow down there. No one is talking about keeping Mars clean. Two likely options. 1. Climate collapse. Might not be the direct cause of human extinction, but it would certainly prompt a lot of candidates for human extinction. Nations going to war with each other as their land goes underwater or becomes otherwise uninhabitable. Wars over the last remaining resources. Increased temperatures across the globe result in more heatstroke deaths and tropical diseases spreading across the globe. In that scenario, either nuclear war or uncontrolled disease kills us all. 2. Massive collapse of technology. A coronal mass ejection cripples all technology on Earth life support systems, planes, power plants. Anything more complex than a radio is rendered unusable. Within hours, millions are dead. As supply chains collapse across the globe, famine becomes a part of life for many. With today's level of dependence on technology, it would knock us back to being an agrarian species. And the more technologically advanced we get, the worse a coronal mass ejection becomes. Imagine a time when most humans have complex cybernetics. A coronal mass ejection would literally kill billions as their bodies' electronic components failed. It would deal us a blow we could never recover from, monsieur. Greater than within hours, millions are dead. It would definitely be weeks before millions are dead. But yeah, nuclear reactors would fail and we'd all start killing each other for food once the supply chain breaks down. The Amish would crush it though. So not extinction, because the majority of the population chose to believe oil CEOs with everything to lose instead of scientists with no reason to lie. Pretty fitting way to go, honestly. I hope the climate change deniers keep on denying it up till the very end. That'd be poetic justice for humanity. I hope the climate change deniers will indeed keep denying it up till the end, only to realize their mistake and beg for forgiveness, only to be told to piss off as a final shit on their dying chest happens. Sweet poetic justice for humanity indeed. Absolutely, we will go extinct. Rising temperatures will eventually push many places around the Earth to be uninhabitable. Combine that with the decreased ability to grow grains at scale needed to sustain the overbloated human population, and you've got a recipe for disaster. Eventually large wars will break out over the very scarce resources that the Earth is able to provide. It's called loss of habitat due to resource exhaustion. Many species experience it and it leads to their extinction. And humans are just another species. Stupidity, or I should say the rapidly increasing gulf between common and academic knowledge. Science is moving faster than the average person's intellect because we have coddled being a fucking moron for decades now. Look at how COVID has been handled in the scientific versus common communities and imagine that level of dissonance in an even greater threat. Alright guys, just stay inside, wash your hands, and wear a mask when going outside. Did you mean protest while in tightly packed groups, continuing to spread the virus? Quote, you illustrate the point all too well. Thank you. What do we say to the god of death? Not today. Our unexpected Asuif, the great filter. It's starting to look like the great filter is economic inequality of the few. If 4 people on Earth get to make decisions based on innumerable wealth earned by people they never met who left it to them, they will certainly ruin the world. I have a feeling we're eventually headed towards nuclear fallout or chemical destruction. I believe it is inevitably China versus the United States and allies like Australia. I also believe Putin, Russia, is sitting back with the popcorn at the moment. Sitting back with popcorn, or pushing pieces into the right places in the background. We will destroy the ecosystems that sustain us one by one until it's no longer possible for us to survive. It's already happening. It's a fait accompli. Nonsense. I for one welcome the age of protein cubes made from recycled cockroaches. The ecosystems that sustain us have nothing at all to do with the production of Thunderbird wine and whatever the hell is in cup noodles. Rape spiders. I was gonna go with giant ants, but rape spider trumps that. Touché. Yes, they touché you. We run out of toilet paper. We will continue to ignore the warnings of scientific experts of inevitable problems we will face in the future. There are a number of things that have happened in the past that will happen again. It's not an issue of if, it is an issue of when. And we can't exactly predict when it will happen with many of them, monsieur. Pandemics, globally devastating supervolcanoes, asteroid impacts that will absolutely obliterate the majority of a continent immediately and decimate the entire world within days. Some of these we can predict to some degree and some of them we can't. Some of them we can prevent to some degree and some of them we can't. But all of them we can prepare for. But the people in charge of making these decisions want to think about today and tomorrow and about the absolutes rather than the what-ifs. The very same people that blame poor people for not thinking ahead and saving money for times of economic struggles. And I have a suspicion that it will continue to move in that direction. And it will eventually be the end of us. Thank you so much for watching and have a good day.